You should know there are a few powerful AI tricks out there right now that will save you hours and actually make your content perform much better. I want to show you 4 specific AI-powered features I use constantly to clean up my recordings and pull out all the good stuff quickly. Think of this as a small, highly effective toolkit you can implement right away every single time you finish recording a session. First up is that amazing automatic silence and buffer cleanup feature that handles all those awkward pauses instantly for you. You know those long, awkward silences at the very start where you are just positioning the camera or finding your train of thought? Vizard scans the audio right after you upload and marks all those quiet stretches so you can remove them without chopping the natural flow. You get to select the aggressiveness of the trim, ranging from natural, which keeps breathing spaces, to fast, which eliminates even tiny pauses. What I really love is seeing the estimated time savings displayed right there before you even commit to applying the changes. Once you hit remove, the entire timeline updates immediately with clean, tight cuts that look completely professional. If any cut looks a little jarring after the automatic pass, you can easily hover a segment and drag the handles to tweak it manually. It's fast, it's invisible to the viewer, and it makes your raw footage sound like it was recorded by someone who never uses filler words. Next is the simple but incredibly powerful buffer removal for those little silent gaps right at the very start and end of your clip. We are all guilty of that brief moment of silence where we think, wait, am I actually recording right now? For quick sends or repurposing longer material, pressing the Remove Buffers button is often all you need to clean up the edges. Boom! Your clip now starts exactly when you begin speaking and stops precisely when you finish your last word, looking much more intentional. This tiny edit looks significantly more professional, especially when you are batch processing dozens of videos for different platforms. The third essential trick that creators obsess over is finding and removing those distracting filler words like and like. Vizard can detect every single filler word across the whole recording in just a couple of clicks inside the trimming menu. It highlights each filler phrase and even shows you exactly how much speaking time you will recover after the removal process. Hit remove and you can visually check those precise cuts right there on the timeline if you need to be absolutely sure about the edit. You have the option to keep a few natural-sounding fillers for authenticity or choose to aim for polished, podcast-level speech. Other editors often make the edits sound robotic because they remove too much context, but Vizard's contextual approach is much smarter. It analyzes the context around the filler word, ensuring that the final edits sound human and not like a voice glued together artificially. Fourth, and this is perhaps my favorite workflow shortcut, is the power of true transcript-based editing. Instead of wrestling with tiny timeline handles, you can open the transcript and edit your video just like you would edit a standard text document. See a sentence you want to eliminate entirely? Click on any word within it, press delete, and the corresponding clip vanishes from the timeline instantly. If you only want to keep the segment where you make your main point, simply highlight that exact phrase and click Keep Only This. Vizard then trims everything else away, leaving you with that perfectly highlighted section as a standalone, ready-to-share clip. This capability is incredibly powerful when you are turning a long, detailed conversation into many short, high-impact moments. Want to pull out a quick, powerful one-liner? You can highlight it and export that specific piece immediately without any other hassle. The entire transcript is fully searchable, which lets you jump straight to a specific point without manually scrubbing through all the footage. Compared to other tools that give you a transcript but still force you to edit on a confusing timeline, this lets you edit with your brain, not your mouse. Now, while those cleanup features are amazing, what truly separates this application is how it turns long videos into ready-to-post clips that have a chance to go viral. The auto-editing viral clips feature analyzes your footage and identifies moments with the highest engagement potential, like punchlines or key insights. It doesn't just make random cuts, it intelligently crops those high-impact beats, captions them automatically, and formats them to the right aspect ratio. Other editors might let you manually slice clips, but they absolutely do not do the creative heavy lifting of finding the hook for you. Some auto-clip tools just spit out generic snippets with no context, but this provides a solid first draft that often only needs a quick caption tweak. The auto-schedule feature is an underrated time saver for maintaining posting momentum across all your various social media channels. You simply tell the AI how often you want to post, and it queues up clips to fill that cadence without you having to babysit a calendar. If you are repurposing one big podcast into a month's worth of shorts, this intelligent scheduling capability is a literal lifesaver. Tying everything together is the content calendar, where you schedule, manage captions, and publish all your clips in one unified place. You can drag clips, swap them around, add final captions, and publish everything without jumping between 5 different software applications. Yeah, there are cheaper editors and there are feature-heavy platforms with huge price tags, but this one hits a perfect sweet spot of power and cost. It combines powerful AI cleanup tools with an integrated scheduling and calendar system that scales efficiently as your output grows. If your main goal is turning long-form content into a steady stream of short-form posts, this process cuts the friction down dramatically. Here's the quick workflow I use every single time immediately after I finish recording a long content session. First, I upload the raw file and then I immediately run the buffer and silence cleanup to instantly remove all the dead air. Next, I run the filler word removal to ensure my final delivery is as tight and punchy as possible for the audience. Then, I open the transcript, highlight the strongest, most quotable lines, and use keep only this to create my core short clips. I then let the auto-edit feature suggest a few additional viral clips based on engagement signals I might have completely missed myself. Finally, I tweak any necessary captions, drag everything into the content calendar, and let auto-schedule fill in the best posting slots for the week. That entire process takes me a fraction of the time it used to, and if I change my mind, I can always restore the original file because the trims are never destructive. The bottom line is, if you want to spend less time clipping and more time actually creating, these tools genuinely push your content toward being shareable. The transcript editing feels intuitive, like editing a simple document, and the auto-clipping ensures your long-form material becomes a consistent short-form presence. Go try that buffer and silence removal first on an old file. You will be genuinely surprised how polished your raw footage suddenly looks. After that first taste of magic, play around with the transcript edits and the auto-edit feature for finding those viral moments. If you want, I can walk you through the specific settings for creating short TikToks versus longer, more professional LinkedIn clips next. Want me to draft some high-converting caption templates and strong call-to-action lines you can use with these new auto clips? Catch you in the next one, and honestly, go try cleaning up a 5-minute rant and watch it become a 45-second gem. It's kind of addictive.